Friends, we're going to be mistyping on Mondays. I'm going to be posting these through the end of the year. To get this rolling, I want to speak with those of you who really enjoy helping their friends find their type and offering a few things that I'm learning and things that I think matter when having discussions with others about Enneagram. And the first is that it's not your job to tell someone their type. It is our job to introduce them to an introspective language and give them tools for naming their own type. The more that I'm doing these recordings, the more I realize at the end, I need to either have more conversations with this person if they really were to get into this. I need to have conversations with them around a podcast, or I need to get a book into their hands that we can discuss together. This is the win. It's not finding your type. It's actually getting someone into the language. So obviously we have our Start Here podcast, which you can find for free online, or our book that just released is very helpful on these fronts, but really any good book on Enneagram is going to work. The most critical step for most is simply to hear the language of the different types, get introduced to introspection and the idea that you're trying to name your motive, and then begin talking about it with others in ways that are comfortable and trying to see connections. And hopefully, and this happened for most of us, we hit a spot where we really felt the jolt when the language showed us something that we knew about ourselves, but we weren't able to say ourselves. That is the win. Second, in many of these conversations, I've begun avoiding Enneagram buzzwords and instead have tried to ask questions that invite my new friends to offer their own stories in their own language that really unveil, again, motive. Why did you take that job? Why are you having a hard time with your folks? Why do you hope to sell your house? Getting away from some of the Enneagram buzzwords is going to allow us to expose our motive in our own way. And it's the role of any good friend, any good ear, anyone who's working with Enneagram to mark those places where their language of motive is going to line up with a type. And at that point, you can begin to give some options. So you're not telling somebody what their type is, but you might listen to this podcast on 3s and this podcast on 6s. Here are some of the podcasts. Let's discuss these in the future. Or, here's the section on 4s in this book. What do you think? Again, only we can type ourselves. So that's the target. So thirdly, typing is about motive. It's not about behavior. And you need to say this to yourself 28 times. The Enneagram's about motive. The Enneagram is about motive. The Enneagram, guess what? It's about motive. You're going to hear me in a lot of our early episodes where I actually am getting sucked in a little too quickly into the countenance, into the energy, into the mask that the person in front of me is offering, and then I'm in the realm of stereotyping, and that's not where you want to land. Where you want to land is with motive. And when talking type with others, especially when you use our book and the mistyping chart in back, getting to those why questions over and over really matters. And lastly, the truth is typing's going to take a while, and it should take a while. And allowing others time for self-discovery really matters. They're not going to get into the material if you just say, hey, you're an 8. Okay, that's boring. If you're addicted to efficiency, typing may not be yours to do. But, if you can get to those spaces where you savor the moments with friends or someone you work with, if you can have those discussions of turning inward, you can help foster that vantage point for a while. And that can be a rich, enlivening experience. Because I've done this many times now, I can see how often my impulses and intuitions at first were dead wrong. I'm as informed as anyone out there about the Enneagram, yet I still will regularly misstep in my first guesses with people. So the win isn't shooting, stuffing, mounting on a wall a list of Enneagram typing trophies. The win is walking with people in their own self-discovery, and if the Enneagram helps, that's wonderful. But finding the number isn't the target, and typing needs to take a while. What the target is is flourishing, it's happiness, it's wholeness, it's soul health. The target is connection. It's authentically elevating the person in front of me, their good, their strength, their self-awareness. And the Enneagram's just one tool for this, but it's a remarkably powerful tool. And if you can offer someone after the slow work, a number to consider, that's your best move. So hold it loosely. Your inner life is incredibly complicated. Giving language to others isn't easy. Enneagram's a language for your inner life, and it's silly to think that a 40-minute coffee date, you're going to learn Spanish. The target here is getting someone excited about the language and then beginning to speak that language over and over and over again with them, and hopefully it connects. That's the win. So that's my thoughts. I hope you continue to enjoy all these podcasts. May all good things be yours.